Be careful, it's not safe here.
Stay close to the others.
Someone help me! Go! Quick! 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 Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Ka! Ka! Whoa, whoa! Christ! What's the hold-up? I'll have some wine.
Was... I'm glad you found what you needed, sir.
I have some hot goods for you.
Was?
Rat sent me to you.
I don't buy any rodents. Wouldn't you rather have something to drink?
I'll have a brass monkey.
Was? I certainly do not carry that, mein Freund.
Damn, that's not it. Give me a one-eyed monkey.
Was? I certainly do not carry that, mein Freund.
Damn, that's not it. I'll have a big-eyed monkey.
Verstehe. And who are you looking for, mein Freund?
I had a chance to get to know innkeeper Bakovets a little better. He had a few interesting items hidden in the cellar.
A few rags and a piece of rusty scrap metal. And Red told you I know where to sell this stuff.
She just told me the password. Nothing about the middleman.
Na prächtig. That is the agreement. But this junk is worthless.
Bakovets has influential friends among the Kuttenberg councillors. The guild will do well to have some dirt on him.
Gut, you have recht. But if I don't like it, we're done. Gut, abgemacht. Here's the money. Stop by once you have something better for sale, mein Freund.
What's new around here?
eyes deceive me, or is it Henry again? Stop for a while, my good man.
What a coincidence!
What are the odds of that? We meet again!
Riddler Barley.
The very same! And I have a new riddle.
Look, do you really roam around all alone? Don't you have any friends or family?
No, I don't. All I had was Wag the dog, and even him I lost.
Yes, you told me about him. I'm sorry about that.
I buried him not far from Visoka, down Suchdol way. Do you know the place? There's this little spring by the path in the woods. Lots of animals stop to drink there. He loved that place, and sometimes I drop by to talk to him when I'm in the area.
You look like you know your way around these parts. Where's the best tavern?
That's a tough one, if it's a meal you're after. The Emperor Charles in Kuttenborough, but the prettiest wench is at that small inn in Takov. I had the luckiest dice in Zhelyov, and the best sleep in a bed in Lorets. I can still smell the hops and ale, and the window looked out on the Sedlets Monastery. Lovely.
I'm curious to hear what you have up your sleeve today.
I'll tell you, but first we have to decide what's at stake. You solved the last riddle, and I lost the bet. Let me try my luck again.
All right, let's bet. Tell me what your riddle is, then.
Listen close. A bailiff has 12 men join up for service one day. The bailiff was glad, but soon discovered that he didn't have enough gear for them in the armory. So those 12 men filed onto the square for the next morning's roll call. 6 of them were wearing body armor, 4 had helmets. Only 3 of them wore both a helmet and body armor. Now, tell me, how many men were unlucky enough not to have either a helmet or armor?
Six.
Oh, no, you overcount. But not to worry. No one is born a master. Not in my experience, anyway.
I'm afraid I must be going.
Me too. God be with you.
Oh. That's bloody deep.
Quick! Quick! God!
Unless you want to end up the same way, keep going.
No one talks to me like that.
Pray for a quick death, you bastard!
Show your stuff.
Go!
My respects.
Praised be Jesus Christ.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Without warning, attacked by...
You're always welcome here, good sir.
I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
How you doing, Baker?
You asking about business or just in general?
Well, maybe I'll buy something.
but I simply wanted to talk with you.
Well, I suppose, but you can't be surprised I'm so cautious. These days, people are quite wary of foreigners who just want to chat.
I suppose that has something to do with the Hungarian army.
Exactly. Now everybody watches their tongue and their supplies because of them. They eat everything up and break the rest. It's been a bit quiet lately, but that won't bring the dead back to life.
Do you need help with anything? I'm looking for work.
I don't. But if you're not afraid of hard labor, try asking at the mill. The miller always needs help. Anyway, old Marchal's got other things to grind besides flour at the moment.
What do you mean?
Rumour has it some strumpet shacked up with him, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since.
Keeping his nose to a different grindstone, then?
You could say that. As they say, if you want to see an old man act the fool, give him a young woman.
How do I get to the mill?
Head southwest till you reach the river. Then follow it upstream. It's a huge mill in the middle of nowhere. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
Good people, gather round. You won't believe this. A whole village
What are you
burnt to the
whistling
ground. Hell on earth. Just a few days' walk from here. You have to hear this.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
I'm glad you found what you needed, sir.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings. Slowly. Nice and slow.
Fine day for some.
Quick! Ka! Ka!
Whoa.
Here, Mutt! Go!
Let me go to Deliverance. Gladly go looking for him.
Are you mad? No. What if something happened to you too? After everything we've gone through, it would be the death of me.
But Ma,
I said no, and that's that. We'll wait here. Hey,
I'm at your
Goodman. Can you come here a moment?
What's going on? Do you need help?
Thanks for stopping here. My husband, Mikush, hasn't returned from Billany. Me and Vendula are awfully worried about him.
Wait, I need to know a bit more. What's your name?
Svatava,
I'm Henry. And Vendula would be...
our only daughter.
And your lost husband is... Mikush?
Aye. Since we've been living in this hut, he's been going to work to Billany.
When did you last see him?
He left a few days ago. He's never been away this long.
What job did he do in Billany?
He's a damned good tailor. But besides that, he does odd jobs around the village. He always brings whatever he earns here. Mostly food. The little we manage to grow here isn't enough.
Did your Mikush have any enemies you know of?
Enemies? No. He's a nice man. He never hurt a soul. Maybe he's a bit too nice. He trusts everyone. I'm worried someone might have tricked him into something.
What do you mean?
He thinks people are good deep down. I don't think that. People can be right bastards. That's why I'm so worried about him.
Do you want me to find him?
You do that for me?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll find him. Where do you think I should start? In Billany?
Aye. Ask about him in the tavern. He wears a fine embroidered hat. Everyone will remember him.
Why are you here? In the forest?
We had a big house in Messales. But then Sigismund's mercenaries decided to burn the village to the ground. Mikush, Vendula and me all escaped at the last moment. The others weren't so lucky. It was hell on earth. You can't imagine the terror.
I'm from Scallis. I reckon I can.
You can? I don't know. In any case, we ended up here. At least we had some roof over our heads. But now, I don't even know what'll happen next.
Why did the soldiers attack your village?
Why? Good Lord, such a question. They didn't ask us anything. The worst thing is, the village paid some mercenaries for protection. But they took off the moment they saw horses kicking up dust on the horizon. I'm glad old Svartosh, my father, didn't live to see it. His heart would have burst.
How are you getting along here?
Now, quite miserably. I hope you find my Mikush soon. We won't be able to go on without him.
Why don't you look for him yourself? Billany isn't that far.
I can't. I've injured my ankle. I can't walk that far.
What happened?
I twisted it when we were running away from the soldiers through the forest. It's better now, but it still hurts. It would take me half a day to limp to Billany.
So why don't you send your daughter?
By herself? Are you mad? She's young, inexperienced. Something might happen to her.
I'll try and look for him.
Oh, bless you, kind soul. And good luck.
Spoke with Svatova. I'll try and find your pa.
Really? Who would have thought there are still such kind people in the world?
My name is Henry.
I'm Vendula. Do you need help with anything?
I need to know more about your father.
I don't know how to best describe him. He's a peaceful man who wouldn't even hurt a fly. Well, he's a bit fussier than other men when it comes to dressing. That's a tailor for you.
How does he get along with people?
Usually good. He got into a fight only once, in the tavern. I don't remember why. Ma gave him an earful that time.
A peaceful man doesn't fight for no reason. Try to remember what happened. It might be important. Maybe someone wanted to get revenge.
Well, when I picked Pa up at the tavern, he was sitting with some friends playing dice. He must have been doing pretty good, because I heard one fella accuse him of being a wizard.
So he might have got into a fight over a dice game?
Lower your voice. Ma doesn't know anything about it. He might have got into a fight only over the dice. But otherwise, he's harmless.
So your ma doesn't know Mikush played dice?
No, and I'm begging you, don't tell her. She'd be even more worried about him.
How's life here?
How do you think? Not so good.
I understand. Being in the forest and all.
What can you do? At least we're alive. If Ma hadn't believed the news that soldiers were approaching the village, we all could have been dead, like the others.
Why did those soldiers burn down your village exactly? Over a conflict with the local lords, or something like that?
I don't know. The village belongs to the monastery, and the custodian shows up once a year at most. Mezeles is a small village. Or it was. As far as I recall, it's a place people would leave to find a better life elsewhere. Ma always reminisced about how in her father's time things were different. But that's what old folks always say. Take care, sir.
Quick! Ah!
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm at your service, sir.
God bless you, sir. It's filthy again. Damn it.
My own brother. That much, eh? My brother. More my own wife. All right now, take it easy.
What kind of pig was sitting here? What would you like, sir?
Do you know someone by the name of Mikush?
Who?
Mikush. A fellow with a nice hat. I heard I might find him round here.
I know who you mean, but I never really spoke with him. You'd be better asking the tavern keeper.
I'll have a look at your wares.
I'm glad you found what you needed, sir. It happens. Just watch where you're going next time. Leave that door alone, will you?
Excuse me?
Good day to you. I'm looking for someone. His name's Mikush.
Mikush? Never heard of him.
I've been told he wears a...
Fancy hat?
Exactly.
I've seen him around here. But I don't see why I should talk to a stranger about another stranger.
I heard he comes here to play dice.
That doesn't mean I'm going to talk to you about him.
Why?
Why should I? Talking to strangers is nothing but trouble. Wouldn't you rather play a game of
I
dice?
heard him coughing his lungs up in the yard again today.
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all. No, it was Jan, the beanpole.
Listen, Mikush's family is looking for him.
What happened?
His wife and daughter. They're worried about him. They're refugees from Messeles, living in a hut in the woods. They've lost everything, and now even their provider. Can you live with that on your conscience?
Look, I wouldn't wish ill on anyone. And all right, I do know a bit about him.
Tell me then.
He had his whole life in front of him. And next thing you know,
I've known Mikush since the first moment he showed up here to play. Unsurprisingly, the bloke looked like he couldn't count to 5. I thought I'd found an easy mark. But man, was I wrong. He's a great player. And that kind of praise means something coming from me. He knows when to bet everything on the final roll.
So he won a lot?
Aye, for a while. Until his luck ran out. Then he started borrowing. One time he got so desperate, and maybe had a few too many beers, he started going on about his buried fortune in Messeles, saying he'd surely pay back anyone who lent him money. Ha!
Did anyone lend him anything?
Aye, and Mikush won everything back.
And did he pay back the money he borrowed?
Of course, every last groschen. He was laughing the whole time, too.
What about that buried fortune of his? Did he ever mention it again?
The next day, he claimed he made it all up, saying he just had too much to drink. Only nobody believed him.
Did anyone seem particularly interested in his fortune? Someone who'd want it for himself, and would go after Mikush because of it?
Everyone was interested in it, but Mikush never talked about it again. Besides, that village is burned to the ground and full of rabble. Messeles is an awful mess. That rhymes!
When did you last see Mikush?
A few days ago. He was playing against that hired hand, Drat. Drat lost and didn't have enough money. They left together, and Mikush hasn't shown up since. That's pretty suspicious now that I think about it. That Drat bloke's an odd duck.
What do you mean, odd?
I've heard he's been dealing with some bandits. You'd better have a word with him. But be careful.
Where can I find this Drat?
Somewhere in the village. I reckon he'll be at the farm he works at. Well, technically, because he's a big fella and looks strong, they made him into something like the village catchpole. But to tell you the truth, he's less a catchpole and more just a regular farmhand pretending to be a catchpole.
Where can I find this Drat?
I already told you. At the farm or somewhere in the village.
I'll go have a talk with...
Don't mention it. And if you... God be with you, sir.
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time.
You're Drat.
Aye, that's me.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away. But do it fast, I don't have all day.
Do you know a fella by the name of Mikush?
I don't know any Mikesh.
Ah, knock it off. I hear you left the tavern together. And no one has seen Mikush since.
Oh yeah, that fella. We were heading in the same direction, but then went separate ways. That's all I know.
You certainly know something about Mikush's disappearance, and you should talk.
Should I? Why's that?
You best realise to whom you're speaking, boy. If it were of no importance, a noble such as myself would waste no time with it. So speak.
I apologise, sir. It's not my fault. It was Hanka.
Who's this Hanka woman?
Hanka's not a woman, but a man. We've known each other for years. He was a hired hand in Messalus. Certainly know what happened there. The horror. Not long ago, he came to see me. Said he was the only survivor from the entire village, but I know that wasn't true.
Because you met Mikush?
I thought he'd be quite happy that someone else got away, but he was actually quite upset about it.
What do you mean, upset?
Well, you could see it on him, all nervous-like. Seemed to me like it was rubbing him up the wrong way. That Mikush, of all people, survived.
Interesting. Did he tell you anything else?
I didn't ask him any more questions.
So, someone comes to see you, acts all odd, and you don't ask any questions? I don't believe you. You must have had a normal conversation, seeing as you're old friends. And he had to have told you something.
Well, I understood he quarrelled with Mikush and his family about some money, a family inheritance. Nothing unique there. It happens in every family, so I didn't pry any deeper. Then he said he'd like to talk to Mikush and whether I could set up a meeting.
Well, thanks to you, he knew Mikush frequents the tavern. So why didn't he go and find him? To talk with him?
I don't know.
Damn it! Come clean. You must have asked him the very same question. So you know the real reason. Admit it.
Hanka told me he'd joined up with some bandits, so he didn't want to show his face in the taverns. It wasn't so long ago they robbed a merchant here. I reckon he was afraid someone might recognise him.
So he wanted to rob Mikush?
I really have no idea. Hanka didn't tell me. I just wanted to help out an old friend. I didn't know what he was up to. What the hell do I care about some strange fellow with a funny hat, damn it? Hanka told me to take Mikush outside the village and then he'd meet him there. But he said Mikush couldn't know about him, and he left figuring out how to do that up to me. So I played dice with Mikush. He's damn good, so I had no problem losing a few games. In no time at all, I owed him quite a few groschen. I told him I could pay my debt immediately, but he'd have to come with me to my hiding place. He didn't blink an eye. He's damn trusting, given how things are today. I took him a little way outside the village, told him I was going to take a piss, and then took off. And that's all. I don't know anything else.
Where did you take him? I want the exact location.
Here, just outside the village, on the way towards Messalus.
Are you trying to lie again, Drat? If he wanted to settle a family dispute with Mikush, he wouldn't have lured him outside the village for a chat. Unless you want to piss me off, you'll tell me the truth. Now.
All right, fine. It was a bit further away from the village. Actually, it was quite far.
Where were you supposed to take Mikush?
A crossroads by the forest, on the way to Messalus. Actually, almost right by Messalus. A little beyond the woodsman's camp. Just go straight. 2 roads intersect there. It's the only proper crossroads on the way.
What happened at the crossroads? I want the truth.
Well, as I was saying, I took Mikush there and told him I needed to take a piss. Then Hanka jumped out of the woods with some bandits. They grabbed him. He began to scream, but there was no one around to hear him.
And what did you do?
I didn't wait to find out what would happen. I ran.
What did Hanka promise you for bringing Mikush to him?
Nothing. I did it out of friendship.
Are you trying to lie again?
All right. He said he'd give me part of the buried inheritance.
So Hanka wanted to get his hands on that inheritance the whole time?
I reckon so.
He felt the family owed it to him, but I don't understand why.
Family. Skeletons in the closet. You never know.
How long have you known Hanka? Since you're such good friends.
We go back a long way. As youngsters, we'd beat the shit out of each other in the Messalus tavern. As it often goes, we ended up becoming friends over a beer, you know? But I haven't seen him since I've been working as a catchpole. Not until now, that is.
But if you were such good friends, you must know more than you're telling me.
Maybe, but it's not important.
Every detail is important.
So listen up. Hanker always had one big problem. No woman would have him. He's always said it's because he's not rich. But he's just a hired hand. As if a hired hand can't shag. The stories I could tell.
Get to the point.
Last year, his cousin danced with him at a feast. He was like a new man. He wouldn't stop talking about her. Vendula this, Vendula that. As if he was in love with her. And then, all of a sudden, nothing. He never mentioned her again.
Where might Hanker be now?
I only know what he told me. That he ran off into the forest. And that's where he joined up with those bandits. He bragged about how they made him their captain.
I'm not wasting any more time with you. God only knows what Hanker's done to Mikush, and you're responsible for it. Be ashamed. You sold out an innocent man for a handful of groschen. Sickening.
I'm truly sorry.
Being sorry won't help. You're a snake in the grass. You deserve punishment.
Please, don't tell anyone. No one can find out.
All right. I won't tell anyone. You have committed a grave sin, but if you show remorse, God will forgive you.
Thank you. I'll never do anything like that again. I swear. I'll pray and go to church and...
Enough already. Farewell, Drat. Slowly. Nice and slow. Go! Go! Quick! 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 Ja! Quick! Go! Go! God! Go! Whoa!
Turn around right now and get the hell out of here!
He's alone, isn't he?
Shall we rob him?
Make yourself scarce, dickhead!
He smells like coin.
We
You're
can
still
handle
here?
it.
Try something.
I'm telling you for the last time, get the fuck!
Nice try, you whoreson! You wanna try me?
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! Come on! Your ass!
quite a lot of it, too. It looks like they dragged that poor wretch further. I have to find out where. That must be Mikush's hat. It looks like it fell off when they dragged him into the woods. I have to find out which way they took him.
Shit.
Christ!
You won't find any mushrooms too big here. Now get lost.
You're in for a nice kicking, you piece of shit! You can't stand up to this! Do it! Hey! Fuck that!
Mercy! Leave me be! Christ. He's on his last legs. Let's have a look then. The burns look ugly, but something tells me they aren't the main problem. The stab wounds are worse. They're red at the edges and are hot to the touch. I think this wound is infected. I ought to do something about it. At the very least, clean and bandage it. Maybe a potion would help him. Something healing. That works fast. The better quality it is, the quicker he'll get better. Maybe some herbs would help him. Medicinal ones. They help with healing. If I place them on his wounds and dress them, he could get some relief. I've seen enough. I think I know how to help him. I'll get him through this. I hope I can act fast enough. What are we gonna do with you? I shall clean that wound first. This'll sting a bit.
Ah! That hurts!
The wound is clean. That should stop the pus from forming. I'll give you a healing potion. I'm sure it'll help. This one should do the trick. Drink up. I ought to put herbs on that wound. But I won't do that now. I'll be back.
Christ!
Now it's time to... I have just the thing for this.
Ah.
Right. The wound is clean. You should be feeling better soon. I should bandage it for you. I'll just wrap it tight. There we are. I'll pray for you. At least your soul will get some relief. How does it go again? All praise and glory is yours, Lord our God, for you have called us to serve you in love. Bless Mikush, so that he may bear this illness in union with your son's obedient suffering. Restore him to health, and lead him to glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. That's all. I'm sure he'll pull through. Mikush?
Who are you?
Henry. But that's not important now. What happened here? Why did they torture you?
I buried inheritance. I told Hanka that the only person who knows where our inheritance is buried is Svatava. And then he burned me. So much pain. I told him where he could find her. My God, he took his men and headed out for her. To the hut. You have to save them. Hurry. I'll follow you. Don't wait for me. Their lives are in danger. Ka! Ka! Ka!
Quick! Go! Quick! Quick! Let her go immediately.
Take another step, and I'll slit her throat.
I know what you're after. You want that buried fortune. The inheritance.
What do you know about that? You talk.
Nothing else at all. But if it's only money you want, no one has to die.
Are you yanking my pizzle? I'm really gonna finish her off.
Let her go. We can talk this over. It's not your fault what you've done. You've gone through horrible things.
What could you know about that?
Believe me, I know. You're horribly angry and you can't control yourself. But no one else should suffer because of that. Talk to me. Peacefully.
Peacefully. All right. We'll do it your way.
Praise be to God.
Look, I know it doesn't look good, but I was in the right. The money they hid, it belongs to me. It's my inheritance.
I don't understand. You'll have to explain it to me.
My grandfather, old Svotosh, was rich. He worked the fields all around Messeris. He built a beautiful house. He had many children, but only 2 daughters made it into adulthood. Svatova and my mother, Ludmila. When he was dying, he fucked my mother over and gave the house and all his money to Svatova and that tailor of hers.
To disinherit his daughter like that, it's strange to say the least. Did he have a reason to do that?
Reason? Svatosh hated my father. He was just your average poor commoner, but that wasn't good enough for his high and mighty self. Svatova and Mikush got married off in Kutenberg at the Church of St. Peter and Pavel. But did they invite my parents? I was still little, but I remember he treated us like dirt. And not just him. We barely had any proper food to eat. Pa had to go work in the mines at Horsham for a few groschen. He ended up trapped under rubble there. He died a cripple. After that, no one even moved a finger to help us. Not Svatova, not Mikush, no one.
You're damn lucky I came in time to help, Mikush. Things might have ended up much worse.
I only wanted justice. Nothing more.
Drat told me you were attracted to Vendula.
That's not true.
Don't lie. I hear she danced with you. And you were over the moon.
I wasn't. I just... Not so many girls dance with me.
Because you're just a hired hand?
Well, she's my cousin. So I wasn't head over heels for her or anything. No way. I mean, who want me anyway?
I get it. You're alone and desperate. It's sad not to have someone by your side.
You're right.
But believe me, there is someone out there for everyone. It's God's will.
You think so?
Certainly. Try and pray more. And visit the baths. That's important.
I wish I heard that earlier.
But it's never too late to change, believe me. Look at me. I'm just an ordinary village boy.
You might be right.
Tell me one thing. How did you survive what happened in Messeles?
Dumb fucking luck, I reckon. That band of despicable cutthroats. Once they made their way into the courtyard, all hell broke loose. Tried to defend ourselves, but everyone but me fell. So I fled to save my brother and mother. But it was too late. Everything was burning.
Took off running and didn't stop until I was deep in the forest.
No matter what you've done, I must admit, I feel sorry for you. I know well what you went through. Your family? What happened to them?
No one survived. No one was expecting it. Once the soldiers entered the village, there was no escape. Their captain got his eye on my brother, who worked with me in the courtyard. Franz was barely 15. He didn't stand a chance. I ran out to the fields for Ma, but they got there first. All I could hear was a screaming. And then it stopped. I lost everyone. But Svatva and Mikus didn't.
I'm sorry, but your misfortune gives you no right to harm others. If you felt aggrieved, you should have found another way. Violence solves nothing.
That's the first time I've heard that. You don't exactly look like the type of man that would avoid, say, torturing an enemy. Or am I wrong?
I need to have a good reason to get violent.
Are you saying I didn't have a good reason?
In any case, you should apologize. You put them through hell.
I won't apologize to anyone. They had a guilty conscience because of what they did to me. If they'd shared just a bit of their wealth, nothing would have happened to them. But they didn't. They fucked up my life. I'm poor and alone.
How did you join up with the bandits?
My first night out, I slept under a tree. I was starving. So I went out hunting for mushrooms, but then I saw a fire. It was that gang. Captain Loiser was their leader, a big fella. They said they'd let me join if I beat him in a fight. So, I beat him. And they made me their leader.
And what about Loiser?
They buried him in a glade.
I reckon that was no great loss.
I don't know. We didn't really get to know each other.
Enough talk.
Be reasonable. No one died in the end.
I said, enough talk. I know how to end this whole unfortunate situation. Take what I said about rectification to heart, and leave here in peace.
Very well. I was getting sick of the bandit life anyway. You'll never see me around these parts again. I swear. Farewell.
Hey, Hanka!
Where's he going?
I have no idea. I don't get it. Hanka, talk to us!
Everything's all right.
He nearly took my...
Easy.
You both all right?
My sweet Vendula. Did he hurt you?
I'm all right, Ma.
Thank God. Thanks for the rescue, Henry. And what about my husband? Did you find him?
I did. Hanka was keeping him in his camp. He was nearly a goner. But I managed to treat his wounds.
His wounds? My God. What did those bastards do to him?
They didn't treat him nicely, that's for sure. But he'll tell you himself. He's on his way back now.
Hanka, that bastard. I hope he'll pay for all his crimes.
It's not important. What's important is he won't be bothering you anymore.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you. And I thought seeing my own home burned to the ground was the worst thing.
We've gone through a lot, Ma. So much suffering. We have to leave this place. Get as far away as possible, as soon as possible.
Wait. Did you hear something?
I don't hear anything.
There! Again! Someone's outside. Jesus! It's those bandits! There must have been more of them.
Ma, take it easy. I don't hear anything.
Henry, go and have a look.
Oh,
It's not the bandits. Look who's come home.
Mikush!
Pa!
You made it here quickly.
I came as fast as I could. I nearly gave up the ghost. I was so worried about the two of you.
I'm so glad you survived. That horrible hunker tried to kill us.
I know. All because of the inheritance. He went absolutely mad.
If it weren't for Henry, he'd have killed Vendula. And then me.
That lunatic. Who would have guessed that about him? He used to be a good lad.
After all that, Henry let that good lad go.
Well, let's hope he never shows up here again. I'm awfully knackered. I need to lie down for a bit. Will you help me?
Of course, Pa. Come and rest inside.
I reckon you're hungry too. Vendula, give him some gruel. It should still be warm.
All right. Come on, Pa. Carefully.
And the two of us should have a word.
What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to thank you for everything. You saved our entire family.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
As you might have figured out, everything that happened was all because of our inheritance, which I hid from the soldiers in Messalis. I understand you've done everything you can for us, but I wanted to ask if you could go and get it for us. You're a strong, capable man, and you don't scare easy, and it'll be worth your efforts. Trust me.
All right, I'll look for it. But you'll have to tell me where I'll find it.
Listen, I'll tell you everything. My memory's not as good as it once was. Our house is the third one on the right when you follow the main road towards Visoka. Anyone entering the village goes by our house. Must have been about 2 days before the tragedy. The neighbor boy ran over and started yelling about how something was coming, that he'd heard it from the patrol on the road. No one believed him, not even his pa. After all, why would soldiers attack a monastery village, one far from their camp? It didn't make any sense. That night, though, I had a strange dream. I tried to put out a fire, but the more water I poured on it, the bigger the flames got. So, I decided to hide all our valuables. Only I couldn't do it during the day. I was worried someone would see me. I put all of it in a chest, loaded it onto a handcart, and waited till nightfall.
Continue.
When night fell, I snuck out the back of our house with a handcart, making my way through the hole in the fence next to the compost heap. Mikush was supposed to fix that hole a long time ago, but as good as he is with a needle and thread, well, when it comes to other work, you can forget about it. At least it made things easier for me. First, I headed right. Then I turned left, up the path, around the neighbor's barn. It's outside his fence. I had to stop there, because the neighbor's little brat was still awake and wandering around. Fortunately, he didn't see me. So I kept going past a low wall where two paths cross. There, I went left. Once I was safely out of the village, a dog started barking at me, so I had to pick up the pace. Instead of turning right down the path, I went straight into the field there. That handcart was damned heavy, and it was rough going off the path. I crossed the field, making it to the woods, but the wheel got stuck there. I couldn't go any further, and it was pitch black. I lit a lantern and dug a pit to fit that chest. Took me forever. When I was done, I could barely walk straight. The sun was coming up. I left the handcart and shovel there and went back the way I came. I hope those directions are good enough for you to find it.
That's all I need. I'll go and find your inheritance. What's the story with you?
My father, Old Man Svatosh, was quite wealthy. At least compared to the rest. He had 9 children, But only me and my younger sister Ludmilla made it into adulthood. And then, when he died, he left everything to me. He wanted to be sure, because with Ludmilla, he was worried she'd blow through all of it.
Why did your father disinherit Ludmilla?
She was quite flighty. She liked to have a good time, if you know what I mean. She was never without a man. Then, she brought this hired hand home. Fanos was his name. She had to marry him, as she was in the family way. Svatos threw her out of the house without a second thought, heartlessly. And he never mentioned her again.
Why didn't you help Ludmilla then? Hanka said you didn't care about them. That you left them to starve to death.
That's not true. I offered to help her. I found her a job, but it was in vain. She was mad. Sometimes something came over her, like she was possessed. It was frightening, and it got worse and worse. It seems Hanka has inherited it from her. Those aren't the kind of people you let live in your house.
Why didn't you help Hanka at least? He lost his father after he got hurt in the mines. He must have been desperate.
Fanos? A miner? Where did you hear that? He never stepped foot out of the village. He drank so much, he lost his job, and then fell off a cliff at Simperk. He's a common swindler. And he's delusional, just like his lunatic mother. I hope our paths never cross again.
How did Svatos become so wealthy?
He was a good farmer. When he was young, he worked on a big farm somewhere near Colleen and worked his way up from the bottom to become the custodian. But it's no coincidence he ended up in Mesoles. He was close with the old custodian of the Sedlets monastery. They were friends. Sometimes you've just got to meet good fortune halfway.
What did he do with such a large inheritance?
What do you think? I took care of it the way Pa wanted, so our Groshen didn't just roll away from us. So our Vendula would have a good life, a good dowry, and a good husband. At least someone as good as my Mikush.
What are you gonna do now?
I hope that inheritance brings us back the happiness we've lost. I hope our suffering ends soon, and we'll see better days again.
I'm going for the
I'm sure it is. Me, Vendula, and...
How are you?
Awful, my friend. Leave me alone now, please.
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived.
Quick! Quick! Go! Ka! Quick! Go! Quick! This is where Mikush's family lived. It's a pretty big house for 3 people. I reckon they had a lot to be jealous of. I wonder what happened to the neighbour's boy. Maybe he managed to escape with his life too. Maybe.